Yeah, I think there might be I think we might do, if we have enough time, if I have enough time, we'll do the AFC Championship game tomorrow and the Super Bowl tomorrow. If not, then we'll do, if we once again still have enough time, if I still have enough time, do either push that to Thursday or do championship game Thursday. I mean Friday and Super Bowl Thursday. Yo, what's up? Whoever joined the stream, this is the NFC Championship game. Vikings coming off a very perfect game against the Washington Redskins. I think Cousins went 18 for 18. As Detroit looking to break the upset in the third NFC Championship game appearance in the 4 custom seasons I have done. Once again, they line up in the road slot, so once again they'll be on the road. Will the Vikings prevail, be the third team to possibly go 19-0 after the Super Bowl, after their possible Super Bowl win, if they do win, of course? Or the Lions finally break through the barrier, which then would lead them to a Super Bowl against either New England or Baltimore? We'll find out as this game's set to get underway right now. The Lions of Christian Olgle for the second time. Christian Olgle finds his way to the NFC Championship game. For the third time, the Lions find their way to the NFC Championship game. In 2017, they had Stafford lead their way. They ended up losing by a touchdown to the Redskins. Next year, they had Christian Olgle, made their way to the NFC Championship game. Still, then again, once again, lost to the Redskins, 35-20. And now they have to face the Vikings, undefeated. The last time they were in here, faced the undefeated Redskins. Now you got to face the undefeated Vikings. Especially Kirk Cousins, hot fire coming off in that perfect 18 for 18 game. And also, coming off having having Kirk Cousins be undefeated in all his starts. First start as a quarterback he did Week 17 of the 2019 custom season, won 35-31. Ever since then, he's never lost a game. Never lost a game. 18-0 for Kirk Cousins. Let's see what goes after here. Cousins was 17-0 going into the Redskins game, won 24-14. Now they try to beat Detroit in NFL primetime mode. Cousins trying to go 19-0, push his team one step closer to winning the Super Bowl. Olgle trying to win the team's 15th game, and I believe their 4th game in a row. However, Minnesota will receive ball. Will the defense be able to stop Detroit? Or Detroit's high-powered offense be able to finally break through? Returns him to the goal line, Stephon Diggs. And Diggs gets down to the 26-yard line. So let's get up with Kirk Cousins. Perfect 18 for 18 passing so far in the postseason. Not one incompletion. Brady almost did it yesterday against the Jags, but threw, I believe, 2 incompleted passes near the end of the game. I think went 22 for 25. I think 22 for 24 maybe that game, and the 20-17 win, ending the Jaguars' hopes and dreams of a miracle season to get back to the Super Bowl after starting out 0-6. So, whole first quarter for Minnesota as Detroit now looks to try do something here. Cousins back to pass, already starting with a first down pass to Stephon Diggs. 10 yards for Stephon Diggs on the pass, and now it'll be 1st and 10 on their own 36. Minnesota, all they really need is a stop. All they really need to do is a stop on defense, and they could possibly win this game in the playoff and make it to the Super Bowl. Hand off to Dalvin. No, play action to Cook. Cook was so dominant. Pass is inaccurate. It's almost picked off, to be honest, by the linebacker number 51. So here's the Vikings lineup, and honestly, a lot of stuff you have to get rid of. You have to cover the pass well, have to stop Dalvin Cook, and then you have to sack Kirk Cousins as much times as you can. Got to force many incompletions. But after inside after that inaccurate pass, Cousins throws his first incompleted pass of the postseason. He's now 19 for 20 in the postseason. Cook in the backfield, hand off to Dalvin. Dalvin finds a hole, and he gets down to the 42-yard line. So 6-yard gain from Dalvin Cook. It'll be 3rd and 4 for Minnesota. 5 minutes to go in first. Like I said, you can't let Dalvin Cook get to these big runs. Once he gets in X-Factor mode, practically unstoppable. That Washington game is an example. You knew Detroit was going to be watching film, but will they execute it perfectly? Cousins the pass, wide open. Treadwell throws down the field though to Kyle Rudolph. That's a first down. 20 for 21 passing for Kirk Cousins, and it is so far perfect season. Never lost a game. Cousins, the former Redskin, beat his former team last season after he found out that after he demanded a release actually and moved to Minnesota. After he found out he was going to be backing up Kelly Jr. He was supposed to be the backup, but then they got Kelly Jr. and he was like, nope, you're backing up again. So Cousins back the pass. That pass caught the Diggs. Another first down on the 13-yard line. Stephon Diggs leading this Minnesota team. Already 60 total yards for Minnesota, 54 of them passing. Cousins now 21 for 22. But amazing recognition. I thought Cousins was gonna get sacked with a nice block by Dalvin Cook. Finds Stephon Diggs. And so far, what's not been good coverage by this Detroit defense. Detroit trying to break through the barrier. Coleman tackle. They need at least one stop. Detroit needs at least one stop and then score on every possession they got. And that pass almost picked off to Justin Coleman. Surprisingly, it was not. He didn't even go for the pick. He just ran from the ball. Detroit defense. So how can you attack this Detroit defense? Well, we've been seeing it already. Deep bombs, deep passes, and the run game. This defense already has some problems, but they're able to get their team to a 12-4 record and get them to the NFC Championship game. Can Detroit pull out? Can Detroit pull through here though? 2nd and 10. Minnesota ball at the 13. Minnesota doing really well here, driving down on the field at 13. Has to get to the 3-yard line for first down. 4:02 remaining. They hand off to Dalvin. Dalvin gets a huge run, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook's first rushing touchdown of the game. And it's 6-0. Like we said, you have to stop Dalvin Cook. They've dropped back in coverage, thinking he was going to pass. Cook though in his second rush already proving himself that he is a dominant rusher and he can lead this team to a Super Bowl. After that touchdown rush, Dan Baylor will get the extra point, and Detroit will have ball next. Not a long drive for Minnesota, up 7-0. Detroit now has the rest of the first quarter to get things going. They also get ball at the end of the first half. So if Detroit can score on their last possession, and hopefully it would be the last possession of the half, but they can score on the last possession of the half, or on their last possession, and then stop Minnesota, or hold them to a field goal at most, then they can probably take the lead. Colquitt will kick it off. Minnesota, I don't think Minnesota had a punt once this game. Christian Olgle, Kurt Mandelo, Antonio Brown, Darren Fuller, Marvin Jones Jr. They know how to get it done. Can they get it done for Detroit on their first possession? And they would need it, because if they don't, the Minnesota having a chance to possibly win this game. That is. Slayer Axel had trouble time getting to the 25. Mandelo does it on his first try though. Christian Olgle ended up beating the Cardinals 24-3, and then surprisingly, so far what's been the biggest upset of the postseason, beating the Saints 24-21. They're not getting over that 24 hump, and they might have to get over that 24 hump in this game. They're now down 7-0 to Minnesota. They need a defensive stop. They could have had it if that ball was not dropped by Justin Coleman, number 27. 2 2 hours to the new year. That's why we're not doing a game. Not doing the NFC Championship game right after this. Olgle finds a running. No, he doesn't. Never mind. He gets down to the 24 for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 11. He ran just a little bit more to the outside. He had a full break of air. You see right here. There's not Paul Krause. There's 22. He drops back in coverage. He has a whole open field to his left, but decides to run right into his defender, which ends up him getting sacked. So bad ball carry vision by number 3. We 2nd and 11 at 24, 3:30 remaining in the first. Has to get to the 36-yard line for a first down. 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Olgle up the middle, incomplete. Inaccurate pass, and it's just he needs to get going. That's before I get back, but right now, Kurt Manilow, Fuller, Brown, McKissick, all these guys want to stop, especially Ogle's running game. 3rd and 11. Detroit needs a first down here, unless they're probably going to lose this game already. Minnesota up 7-0. A stop here can mean big to them, possibly game. As we all know, so far in the custom season, if you can stop it on your first possession, it might be game. See Fuller lined up in the slot. Play action of Mandela. And Olgle tackled again. Hunter with his half sack. Be 4th and 12, Detroit. Finds no one down the field. Tries taking off, and I don't know what happens there. He just thought he saw a hole and just immediately covered up. And now Minnesota will get ball now for the 2nd time in the first quarter. Detroit's defense will come out, unless if they decide to go for it, which they won't. Sam Martin will punt it away, so Detroit already not doing well. Already not doing well to show in the first half. Diggs will run it off, tries to got a man, probably will have broke that tackle, but gets down to the 24. Like I said, you need to stop that pass game. You don't stop the pass game, well, you're probably already screwed for the game. And Detroit had two incompletions. One was an inaccurate throw. One could have been picked off. It gave Detroit some momentum, but Vikings, I believe, have stopped their teams to a 1 possession. Cousins looking to make it a 14-0 lead right now. It's Christian Olgle trying to really get going after that horrendous drive they just had. Dalvin Cook in the backfield. Had a rushing touchdown. They hand it off to Dalvin Cook. Finds a hole. First down already for the Vikings. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Minnesota at the 39 with 2:40 remaining in the first. Dalvin Cook just found the hole. You have to stop Dalvin. You cannot drop back in coverage. You have to blitz when you know they're running, and hopefully it works out. They just dropped back in coverage, left the hole, and just not good. You see Olgle like they're frustrated about the last drive, which they knew they couldn't let happen. Because if they would have kept up, then, you know, it possibly could have been 14-14. Hand off to Cook again. Cook gets the outside. Cook's got a first down. Dalvin Cook, a foot race down to the 35-yard line. Already 60 rushing yards on his 4 rushes, and already in the zone against his Detroit defense. Detroit cannot stop the rushing game, and they can't stop the passing game. Really bad for Minnesota. They got the home field advantage, 17-0 against a Detroit squad that was thought to possibly go to the divisional round and lose after they found out they had to face the Saints. They won against the Saints. I think they were actually up. I think they actually were up 14-7 that game. But Minnesota looking to put a cap on all the upsets. Dalvin Cook. Wow, what a juke by Cook! And Cook's got field down to the 11. Wow, just amazing rush by Dalvin Cook there. He can't even do anything about that. If you get tackled by 28, but just gets juked out, and then just 28 just gets juked out, and then 27, all he can do is just run after Cook, trying to get the best he can. But minute 50 remaining in the first, out the 11. Minnesota put it up 14-0. Minnesota in They have Diggs. They have one of their tight ends, 84. 4 for 6 right now for Cousins. So it won't be a perfect game. Now Smith Jr. 5-yard gain. Down at the 5-yard line now. Minute 28 left. Minnesota trying to make it. And now if Detroit races the whole quarter though, the next half, they could possibly be only down. Cousins back to pass. Cousins in scrambling, getting pressure. He's sacked. Harrison Sr. with the sack. And after minute 4 remaining, it's 3rd and 12. So if they stop him here on this 3rd and 12, ooh, that would be big for Detroit. Be down only 10-0, and then you have a chance to score a touchdown, make it only down by a possession, and then having to stop Minnesota again. Cousins just kept rolling back, but will Detroit handle it here? Will Detroit be able to stop him here? Back to pass. Cousins, end zone touchdown! I saw Rudolph open, and I knew he was good. I knew for a fact that was going to be a touchdown, and it was. Detroit could not stop. It cannot stop. Yeah. 21 seemed like to be behind him. Just not enough. It would have been a first down anyway, but just not enough force there. Could have been stopped. Could have had his chance to stop him or get an interception if they was in front of Kyle Rudolph. But no. Danbury's kick is up and good. And the Minnesota Vikings lead 14-0 here in the first. So 14 points already put up by Minnesota. Very good for them. Detroit, though, down by 2 possessions and another quarter to play before halftime. That spells disaster right there. This Minnesota Vikings defense on lockdown the last drive. Can they be on lockdown again? After the first scrambling tackle, they knew what they were going to go for. Inaccurate pass, I think, was to probably Darren Fuller or to Antonio Brown, someone down the field. But 14-0. And that's Cole Quick kicking it off to Mandelo. Mandelo turns it from the 3. Gets past the 25, and gets to the 28-yard line. So 14-0 Minnesota. 39 seconds remaining in the half. Now at the 28-yard line. You see Detroit trying their best. Possibly get a score. Maybe waste whole first quarter and then a whole second quarter. If they can. And then get ball back at halftime. Tie it up. Remember, we have seen some miracles. Jacksonville down 17-10. It would have come back 17-17, but the comeback was not lived. Instead, it was, that's Brown getting out of bounds, 29-yard line. Instead, it was the Patriots scoring the game-winning field goal. So the Vikings defense, you have to attack this Vikings defense any way you can. And hopefully it works. This is a team without Eric Kendricks, but Eric Kendricks got traded to the Giants, I think, week 3. So a reception for a yard for Antonio Brown. Be 2nd and 9. So they got a yard finally. They're still in negative yardage. 35 seconds remaining in the first. 2nd and 9. Bunch formation. Mandelo in the backfield. They hand it off to Mandelo. See what he can do. Gets down to the 31. It'll be 3rd and 7 Detroit. Brothers up tackle. And now, this is the point where you want to get the pass. Olgle threw an inaccurate pass last time. Choking up already, and so is the defense. 3 wideouts to the top of your screen. 5 seconds remaining in the first. They snap it. Last play of the first quarter. Olgle back to pass, and that pass is caught to Fuller. Fuller's got room. He's got a touchdown. Wide open, Darren Fuller. The former Redskin receives it, touchdown. Breaks, just beats his man, number 34, Senjo. Nothing they can do after he got an open field. Nothing at all. And the Lions, what a pass, what a call. Darren Fuller wide open. He's still got the talent. Darren Fuller still has the talent, and now Detroit needs a stop. So now Prater now lining up for the kick. Kick is up and through. And it's 7-14 at the end of the first quarter. Detroit finally puts one up on the board. But can their defense stop in the second quarter? Here at US Bank Stadium. Going to the second quarter now. Minnesota, if they get a touchdown here, they control. Minnesota controls, but if you score a touchdown, you don't want to score a quick touchdown like that. They scored a quick touchdown, get Minnesota the ball, possibly have them lead 21-7. Detroit then looking to score a touchdown, make it 21-14 at halftime, and then score another touchdown, tie it up, and then it's a game. For Detroit back in the ball game, only down by a touchdown. Defense needs to make a critical stop. They have some momentum on their side, but Minnesota with the most momentum put up 14 points in the first, and he gets back to the 24-yard line. Stephon Diggs. So, as we skip the highlights of the game, because, you know, those mean nothing. 5:57 remaining in the second quarter. Minnesota trying to score a touchdown, be up by 2 possessions. Detroit then trying to get a stop, maybe holding to a field goal. Then if they can't, stop them to have them get a touchdown, then get a touchdown right back. But Cousins just rushed, can't do anything. Mike Daniels, the sack. 6-yard loss. And Detroit already looking good this drive. I know, they're starting to get in rhythm now. Riley Reef can't hold his block there. Mike Daniels just gets through, and nothing you can do. No one open to quickly throw it to. And even then, he couldn't get it quickly thrown to. He was just in, he just got into the drop. He just finished his drop back. And now 2nd and 16. We've seen some. He has to get to the 34-yard line. 3 wide outs to the bottom of your screen. A play action again. Great coverage that time. And Adam Thielen with the sideline catch. It'll be 3rd and 2 on the 14-yard pass. So 3rd down and 2. If Detroit can stop them here, that will be awesome. If Detroit can stop them here, it would be awesome. I form. They're gonna send everybody. They have the max protection. And Cook gets it for a first down. Possible stop. Cannot break through. Reeves Maven makes the tackle. And even though the sack did put him back 6 yards, it doesn't matter. I just found great ball carrying skills by Dalvin Cook. He's been amazing so far this game. 4:40 remaining in the second. Minnesota, though, wants to waste time off the clock, because if they do, and they also hand off to Diggs, and Diggs stopped at the 35. They try to wildcat formation it, but Tawan, or whatever the guy's name was, I missed, just didn't have any of it. 51, he 84 missed his block in the first place. And that'll be 2nd and 11 now for Minnesota, down at their own 35. So this only puts them back a yard compared to the sack. 3 wideouts for Minnesota. At one to the top of the screen, to the bottom. And he got Cook. Cook, hand off, but he gets sacked. He gets tackled for a loss. 3-yard loss, 3rd and 14. Robinson with the tackle. And now Detroit showing life. That's what Detroit needed to do on that first drive when Minnesota had the ball. They needed to break through that line, and they needed to get in the backfield. 3rd and 14 though. Great passing opportunity for Cousins. And we see a lot of 3rd downs converted. 3 wideouts again for Minnesota. Cook, not next factor though. Great thing to take him out. Try to pick play on the top of your screen. And that pass, no way, that was caught, no. No way. That was Treadwell that time, covered by 27. There's a scuffle over there. See this again from this angle. Yeah, definitely clearly out of bounds. Clearly out of bounds there. Justin Coleman, nice job on the coverage. Treadwell had the reception, yes, but unfortunately, he was out of bounds, and Minnesota will have to punt it for the first time this postseason, I want to say. And Detroit's going to get ball 3:41 remaining in the half, and Detroit scores here, and they leave bare minimum clock for Minnesota in the rest of the half. If they do leave any clock, Detroit will have a chance to actually take control of the game, and this is what they need. They need to stop, and now Detroit needs another touchdown. They need a touchdown, tie it all up, and if they score a field goal, they still have a chance to take a lead, but only by about 3 points instead of a touchdown. So now Detroit, 1st and 10 down the 20-yard line. Randall in the backfield. Last time they had one multiple play touchdown. Delay handoff to Kirk, and Kirk gets tackled nearly behind the line. He's 2nd and 10. He luckily gets back to the line though. Minnesota though, stopping that running game. That's what they need to do. They need to shut down Kurt Randall. That's what they're doing. But Darren Fuller, on the other hand, they're not doing anything with him. They're not shutting him down, not doing anything. 3:10 remaining in the third. In the second. Down their own 20. They need to pass. Who are they? No, they're handing off to Mandela again. Gets on the outside. And he's just going to run backwards. It'll be 3rd and 12 Detroit now. Smith with the tackle, and because of that, wow. He had room to the outside. Could have had at least 2 yards. Decides to take the loss. Oh, that's bad. That is... that's definitely not what you want. It'll be 3rd and 12 Detroit, and this stop actually might not go their way if they don't get the first down here. Has to get to nearly the 30-yard line for the first down. Olgle back to pass. Pass, lobs it. Wide open is Fuller for the first down. Wow, Dalen Fuller just definitely beating on these cornerbacks. And that's what they need. That's what Detroit needs to get that momentum back. You just see how much he beat it by. If he racks that catch, though, that's a touchdown. And that actually might be good for Detroit that he aggro catched that. That he jumped up for that ball and gets tackled. That is actually good for Detroit. Because then they don't have to worry about having to stop Minnesota again. Jesse James in the backfield in the fullback position. This might be pistol, I'm not too sure. Fuller in motion. They back the pass. Fuller. No. That's a run for Olgle. Olgle, he's already fumbled once. He's break through and he's got to the 37. As the 2-minute warning comes to play now. Down at the 37-yard line is Detroit. Can they tie the ball game up before half? We all know Detroit wanting to not make sure that Minnesota has any time left on the clock to get a field goal or touchdown. If Detroit scores here and it's a touchdown, tie ball game. And if they force Minnesota to a field goal near the end at the end of the half, they're only down by 3, and Detroit gets ball back. So this will be good. Olgle back to pass, deeps it down the field. He caught it, but out of bounds. Wow. Tried to fit it in there. He did. But just just out of bounds. Ran out of room in the end zone. If this was the Canadian Football League, that end zone would have been a touchdown. At least on the size of the end zone. Minute 55 remaining. 2nd and 10. Pass. Oh my God, that's Brown. Brown this time he's right now making something going now. 1st and 10, Detroit at the 17. This is very good for Detroit. You know, that was a double, maybe triple coverage there to Brown, and luckily that was not picked. You see there, 3 Vikings all over where the ball was. And Brown just lucky to get it, and surprisingly no face mask call on that one. I'm surprised I thought Brown sorted it well enough, but Smith with the tackle will be 1st and 10. Minute 34 remaining in the first half. Detroit trying to break that barrier, going to the Super Bowl for the first time in the custom season. Pass caught Fuller. First down at the 3. And minute 20 remaining. Expect he now has 112 yards on his 3rd reception. Fuller from Auburn. Just amazing job in his 4th season. He has 3 years of experience. This is his 4th season. Just great job by Darren Fuller. Great job. I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. I formation, and they have a wide receiver lined up. Looks like more pass and blitz. And back of the end zone, incomplete though. A little bit overthrown there. Couldn't get enough under it. A minute 1 remaining in the first half though. No, a minute remaining in the first half though. Down at the 3, 2nd and goal. You still have plenty of time. If you go for a run here, oh no, they're going to go for another passing play. Olgle trying to get a passing touchdown. Will be picked though. Fuller in motion. Back near the line. Olgle. The pass. Didn't get in. Down at the 1. 3rd and goal. Detroit's had so many problems scoring down here. This close to the end zone. Can they do it here? A QB sneak possibly gets them in. But will they go for the QB sneak? Fuller with his 4th reception for 2 yards. Didn't get in the end zone. 56 seconds remaining. Didn't have to call a timeout like that, but this looks like to be a run. Who's going to get through the backfield? They don't, and they don't get it. Can't get across the plane. Kerryon Johnson is stopped. And they'll probably go for the field goal, because if you go for the field goal here, you still have a chance to take the lead, but you need a stop on defense. It was Minnesota that time calling the timeout there. Prater looks like Prater's out for the easy gimme field goal here. Kicks up and good. And Detroit still in this game, down by 4, 14-10. Looks like going to halftime. Stop Minnesota. Do not let them get a field goal. You let them get a field goal, then like then you will possibly not control the shootout once you score in the second half. If you let them score a touchdown, then Minnesota still controls. Well, if you let Minnesota score a field goal, though, you could still tie up the ball game, and then you could still keep with them. And then overtime comes, you get ball, score a touchdown, you're going out to the Super Bowl. Question is, will they force it to the Super Bowl? Diggs ready to return at 50 seconds. You saw with New England, they got down to field goal range with 40 seconds, but they missed the field goal. And Stephon Diggs will be tackled down to 25, 46 seconds left, so they have plenty of time and 2 timeouts. As long as they don't get sacked, as long as they don't have any bad runs by Dalvin Cook, which I did last drive, they should be fine. Up by 4 is Minnesota, letting off 10 unanswered here in the second quarter, so Detroit's done a great job holding Minnesota, especially on that first drive, and then only leaving 46 seconds left on the clock. But remember, you saw it with Detroit. 30-some seconds remaining. 1 pass is all is needed. All they need is 1 pass. Cousins back to pass. That pass caught. And timeout immediately taken by Minnesota. So they go for the short pass. 41 seconds remaining in the second. Kneeling halftime. Detroit does get ball, so you want to know how much Minnesota wants to score here. How much they want to actually take a touchdown lead in halftime. They're only up by 4. Takes 1 touchdown, and they're all of a sudden behind. Cousins gonna pass deep. Fine until then. He was fine until then. He couldn't find anyone open. They take their last timeout. 3rd down and 11. Oh, 10, my bad. They have 34 seconds. You gotta know that Detroit's gonna blow this pass coverage. They're gonna blow this pass coverage, and if they don't, that's very good for Detroit. Oh no, they're just gonna run it out. Maybe this could be good for Dalvin Cook. He's already ran it for a touchdown. No, they're gonna play action it. flag down. That pass is caught. And it might have been holding. And that pass play is going to come back. Yeah, that pass play is going to come back, so it really didn't matter. O'Neal costs them. O'Neal costs them yardage. Going to be back to the 14, 3rd and 20. Holding call on Minnesota. That should give the momentum to Detroit. Stop them here. Remember, Detroit won 16-14 against New York. See what happens here. 10-14 is the score. Hand off to Dalvin Cook, and Cook gets nowhere. Definitely nowhere. And Detroit calls its timeout, so obviously that timeout's going to be wasted. They just want to call it so they get the punt away. And now, 14-10, 4th and 20 for Minnesota. So obviously Minnesota couldn't get in the end zone, so they'll only be up by possession. Detroit will get ball in the second. And there's a punt. Only seen one blocked punt so far all season. And that's a great punt. That is a great punt by Minnesota, by Cole Quick. Get him down to the 20, get him down to the 30. Will Olgle do the Hail Mary. Remember last time on the deep bomb that was called incomplete, pass caught clearly out of bounds. He was able to beat the defender. But now, Hail Mary formation. Do they run? What do they do? They have no timeouts remaining. Over a pass. Pass caught. Oh my God! That is Jones. Jones has a touchdown at the end of the half. Marvin Jones Jr. takes the lead for Detroit. I have no words. And Jones Jr. with a second remaining in the second. I can't believe I just witnessed that. One play touchdown for Detroit. Prater goes on, kicks on the extra point. It is good. 17-14 Detroit going into the half with them receiving ball. I think Detroit possibly could win this game now. 17 unanswered points. Wow. Even though it is the only second half, but with them getting ball, they need a touchdown. Be up by 2. Not let off a touchdown from Minnesota again. And that's just luck right there. Jones was able to beat his defender by like maybe a yard or a foot, and because of it, it leads Detroit. Nice play by Detroit. Just, I don't know if hot routes was called. It seemed like a Hail Mary formation, so hot routes might have been called there, and Minnesota was surprisingly not ready for that deep pass. And I thought that was going to be to Fuller. No, it was to Marvin Jones Jr. So here's the last play of the half. And Minnesota is going to get nowhere. So they could possibly... I'm surprised. Going to halftime, Minnesota has let off 17 points. Off 17 points. Amazing job by Detroit. Keeping the game close. Down by 14. I thought they were out of it. They scored a touchdown. They stopped Minnesota twice. But here's some halftime highlights. There's Dalvin Cook's rushing for the touchdown. Here's Christian Ogle's one-play touchdown to Marvin Jones Jr. to get them the lead. And I thought Jones was going to be down at the 1 because of how fast 28 was coming. I thought it was going to be down, but he's lucky that there was no... He's lucky that the field wasn't longer because he would have been tackled. So because of that, that'll be 17 unanswered to Detroit. And going to the second half with them getting ball, a touchdown here is all they need and they'll be up by 10. But then that means a touchdown for Minnesota, they're back in the game. But you know, this Detroit offense not giving up, and the Detroit defense has been stellar so far the past 2 drives from Minnesota. And there's the kick from Colquitt. Returns it from the 1-yard line is Mandelo. Mandelo can't get to the 25. Maybe down to the 23-yard line. So has to get 80. But we'll get to it later. But Dan Fuller right now, 115 yards on 4 receptions for a touchdown. One for the touchdown. That was that one-play touchdown for their first touchdown. Just amazing how Detroit is able to actually outbeat the odds and takes a 3-point lead instead of after their first possession of the second half going into halftime take a 3-point lead. Just amazing pass to Marvin Jones Jr. And now bunch formation except for Fuller. They hand it off to Mandelo. Mandelo finds a hole and he's gonna fight his way to the 32. So a 9-yard game. He's 2nd and 1. 205 passing yards. Minnesota's let off, but 25 rushing yards is all they let off. So obviously Minnesota, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I said. They have to keep attacking that Minnesota defense. Sooner or later, it will work, and right now it is. Bunch formation once again for the Lions. Hand off to Mandelo on the 2nd and 1, trying to find yardage. He does, and it's a fumble. Oh, but it's recovered by Brown. Ooh, that's so close to have a drive killer already in the half. But Brown, luckily there, picks it up. It would have been a fumble anyway. You see here, amazing. Maybe the knee was possibly down, but no, he lost the ball. Like once he twirled, it's like he threw the ball. But luckily Brown able there to get the recovery. And I know in real life they would have been running faster after that ball, and Minnesota probably would have had it. So 4:50 remaining. Mandelo again on the rush, gets up to the 48-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 4. Griffin with the tackle, and 6-yard gain. 4:39 left to go at their own 48. So like I said, a touchdown for Detroit. And you know, possibly takes a two-possession lead. That pass is caught for Jones Jr. down to the 50. 2-yard gain, 3rd and 2. I don't want to say they'll win the game yet. I said that with Minnesota. Detroit scored 17 unanswered. So if Detroit scores a touchdown, they still have to be on the top of their game. So 3rd and 2. Detroit needs a first down here. Will they run it? We'll see from the formation. We'll guess. 3rd and 2. This might actually be a run play. Oh, you got maybe 3 wideouts. Or 2. No, they're going to hand it off. And Mandelo finds nothing. Back to midfield. It'll be 4th and 2. But Detroit still hold the shootout score. They're up at half. Now, that depends. Do they fail on the next possession? And does Minnesota, right now, so far, Detroit, they do not want to choke this away. It's a 4th and 2. They will punt it. I mean, they probably should have went for the pass on that play. It was easy enough. But unfortunately, they do not. And the punt will be out of bounds at the 9. A nice punt by Sam Martin. Just amazing drive by Sam Martin. A good drive by Detroit. Unfortunately, though, they cannot pull the magic they had in the 2nd quarter. And that one pass touchdown in the 2nd quarter in their 2nd possession. Actually in the 1st, my bad. But now at the 9-yard line, backed up, not to their own end zone though. They have field. Cousins, he's good. Oh, Cousins just walloped. Seemed like a rush on the RPO. They seemed to go RPO, and I don't know if he tried passing, but Robinson gets the tackle. He's 2nd and 10. 3 minutes left in the 3rd. Detroit trying to stop. And it looks like possibly 2 wideouts. Diggs open, and that pass is caught by Irvin Jr. for the first down. First and 10, Minnesota, and already, not Irvin Jr., Smith Jr., already, Detroit, already looking like they were in the first possession of the game and the second possession of the game. Just couldn't stop the Vikings team. But remember, Detroit, we've seen this, one pass, all it takes. And honestly, that might be what I say every time I see a Detroit game, and commentate a Detroit game. 2:33 left to go in the third. Cousins, play actions at the Cook. Rush coming, pass caught by Diggs to 30. And it'll be 2nd and 5 Minnesota. Stephon Diggs with his 4th reception. Cousins right now, they take the lead. And Minnesota, no matter what, still have a chance to get upsetted here. Down by 3, 2nd and 5, minute 55 remaining in the third. It would suck if that's a great run by Cook right there, but like I said, it would suck if Minnesota had last possession of the ball and Detroit scored a touchdown on their last possession. Because if Minnesota scores a touchdown, then Detroit scores a touchdown, Minnesota has all game, chew that clock, and all they need is a touchdown to win, and then make the Super Bowl. We've seen some close games. I don't remember what the ending of the 2017 NFC Championship game, but between the Lions and Redskins, I think it was. Now, what my mind's telling me is that it was a game-winning touchdown for the Redskins. I'm not too sure, though, because that was a season for the Redskins full of game-winning touchdowns, besides them against the Rams, but really. And off the Cook, finds a hole, tries to juke out a man, but can't get past the first down marker. It'll be like a minute 10 remaining in the third. Now, if Minnesota scores in the fourth, then that'll be good for Detroit, because then Detroit will have ball. It can just milk that clock. Hopefully, Minnesota gets a penalty, get the momentum on Detroit's side. But right now, it's coming to Minnesota's side again. And off the Cook, he's tackled for nearly a loss. Gets back to the 48. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Minnesota. Leaves Maven with the tackle. And up 17-14. Will this be a big pass? Will this be a big play by Minnesota? We'll see. They have 30 seconds remaining in the third, and a touchdown in the fourth could mean disaster for Minnesota's defense if Detroit runs out clock, and if there's enough time to run out clock nearly to 0. Play action, clear play action. They pass down the field, inaccurate. And Minnesota once again will be forced to punt, and Detroit lucky with the inaccurate throw. I feel like that was to a wide open Diggs too. What was that too? A wide open Diggs. You just throw that accurately, that might be a touchdown. But he doesn't, and because of this, Colquitt will be on the field again to punt. And Minnesota still has not scored. As the ball trails out of bounds, it'll be out of bounds in 24. And Detroit, once that, like I said, all they need is a touchdown. A field goal puts them only up by 6. A touchdown puts them up by 10, and with a possible quarter remaining, most likely win for them, but not clearly. Like I said, 17 unanswered, 14 points scored by Minnesota in the first, and then I believe 10 scored in the second by Detroit. That pass is caught to Mandelo. He can't get the first down. It'll be on the 29-yard line. That'll be the last play of the third quarter. So Detroit finally with the lead. Can they break through? Can Detroit break through? They've held Minnesota scoreless through 2 quarters. Can they do the same in the fourth? Remember, Kirk Cousins trying not to lose a game. He's 18-0 on starts. If he loses to Detroit, which they swept this season, you bet that's going to be very, very bad for Minnesota. This is Minnesota's year right now. Sure, they went 12-4 in the NFC North and won it last season. But this is their year. 16-0, one of the 2 16-0 teams. I'll say the chance. But if you keep letting plays like that happen, it's definitely not going to it's probably not going to happen. So it'll be first down and 10. Darren Fuller's reception. 5th reception of the game. Smith with his 3rd tackle with 5:44 remaining in the fourth. Detroit in a good spot. Up by 3. 5:35 remaining in the fourth. Needs a touchdown, and they possibly could see in the touchdown could possibly seal it away. Hands off to Mandelo, still fighting for yardage. Gets down to the 48-yard line. 8-yard gain, and the 2nd and 2. Can Minnesota, though? Will they be able to stop Detroit again? They've stopped them in the first possession of the second half. This is their second possession. Detroit stopped Minnesota due to an inaccurate throw by Cousins. So if there's something about Detroit, Cousins not doing well. Oh, what? Whoa, looks like a turf monster might have gotten Mandela for the first time. It didn't even seem like a tackle. It seemed like a turf monster might have gotten. Let's get it again. Here's the rush. I don't even know what happened there. Well, Brothers did get tackled, yes, but the turf, he just nearly went down. He just stumbled. Now it's 3rd and 3 for Detroit. Like I said, Cousins has something. It's like Cousins is somewhat off his game always against Detroit, because I don't know what it is, but even though Minnesota won they swept Detroit in the season, they were close games. And off the Mandela's not even. Wow. You can't run against Minnesota when it's that close to the first down. And once again, this is bad for Detroit. They needed that touchdown, and I don't know why. He tries getting down around, he's just running up the gut, and they were rushing that gut. They were rushing the hole, and bad play call. As they try to go for another rushing play on 3rd and 2, does not work. Sam Martin's punt, he got it down to the 9. This time back in the end zone. So not enough towards the sidelines that time to get it down at the 1. So they'll be down at the 20-yard line. And the last time Minnesota was stopped due to an inaccurate pass, and also Dalvin Cook failed to run on 2nd down. So remember, a touchdown here now for Minnesota would possibly put Detroit in a bad spot. And they have 3 minutes 57 seconds to go. 3 timeouts. The problem is, does Detroit make another miraculous stop here? They've stopped them 3 times in a row. And not scored since the first. Minnesota. Cousins back to pass. They have a defender near him. Throws it down the field. Wide open is Diggs. Wow. That was just blown out coverage. You cannot even say that was good and no one was near him. And then Slade tried to get near him. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, he knew he was going to catch that ball. I don't know what the Detroit defense was doing there, but good play by Minnesota. Nice pass to realize that Diggs was wide open down the field. That'll be his 5th reception. Shotgun for Cousins. He almost got the sack on him last time. Can they get one here? Back to pass. Cousins, pocket somewhat collapsing. More pressure. Pocket collapsing. Got to throw it soon. And wow, what a catch by Cook. On top of his cover, first reception for Cook, and at 3 minutes to play in the 4th. Time's getting a little bit dicey right now. Yeah, just one-handed grab too. That was on 29. That was on Melvin. Just amazing grab by Cook. Surprisingly, no hands in the face call. Face max on the offense there, but that's Melvin with the tackle, I think. Cook again. No, they don't go over the middle. It's to Diggs, and 2:40 remaining in the 4th. When does Detroit start using their timeouts? Coming near the 2-minute warning. Only up by 3. And Minnesota looks like they're running out that clock a little bit. Remember, touchdown puts Detroit in a really bad spot. Cousins, single back formation. 2nd and 7. Cook's been nearly unstoppable all game, but they pass again. Cook wide. That wasn't even Cook. That was Cousins, the Thielen wide open. Adam Thielen with the reception, and that will be the 2-minute warning down at the 14-yard line. Quick touchdown here for Minnesota, and Detroit needs a quick touchdown there to try and win the game. We've seen the last NFC Championship game we saw. It was a game-winning deep bomb from Palmer to Stephens Howling for the touchdown. This time, will we see Cousins to Thielen or Diggs in the end zone and a defensive stop? I form a hand off to Cook. Cook Down to the 11. So now time rolls off again. So it looks like they're just going to try, save their timeouts, try and put Minnesota in a spot where they do not score a touchdown. So it'll be 2nd and 7 again. They score a touchdown though. Detroit still has plenty of time. No huddle for Minnesota. Minute 38 remaining in the 4th. 11. Hand off to Cook. No, play action. I think that was either Diggs or Thielen wide open. Passes in zone. Almost intercepted by Slay, which could have been a game ender. 3rd and 7. Darius Slay with the nice coverage there in the end zone. But this time, last time they were near here, Kyle Rudolph got the touchdown reception. Does Detroit stop them to a field goal here? Has to get to the 4. Minute 27 remaining. Cousins under pressure, and it's caught. Not for the touchdown though. If you're Detroit, when do you start calling your timeouts? And I'm feeling with the reception and down to the 1-yard line, you gotta know that it's either gonna be Minnesota calling their timeouts or they're gonna try and force Detroit to call theirs. No huddle again. Minute 5 remaining. Back the pass. This would be great if it's picked off. And Cousins sacked. 53 seconds left to play in the game. Time still ticking. Detroit, not looking so good for Detroit when they're down this part of the field. I know Detroit's up, but maybe you want to start calling a timeout. No huddle again. Maybe Minnesota wants to start calling a timeout. Because you get one here. This is close. 4 verts. Touchdown. Diggs. The possible game sealer. And it's 20-17 Minnesota. Bad coverage there. That's all you could say. Bad coverage. The possible game winner. But they have 32 seconds and 3 timeouts. Time still good for Detroit. And then they need a touchdown. So they go for 2, try to go up by 5. If Detroit has 32. No. They're going to go for the field. They'll go for the extra point. A miss here would be crucial. And he made it. Detroit has to score a touchdown. And they have to throw it deep. They've been able to do it before. We saw Darren Fuller. We saw Fuller do it once at the end of the first. We saw Jones Jr. do it once at the end of the first half. And Minnesota, right now, looking to end the hopes of a Super Bowl chance, force Detroit to go home once again and go 0 for 3 in the NFC Championship game. But like I said, between these two teams, been close all the time. In Detroit, 3 timeouts, 32 seconds, down by 4. That's something you did not want to happen. They needed the interception. It could have been picked off. I'm surprised that ball could not be picked off. Especially 3 Lions right there, but it's whatever. Vanderlo will kneel in the end zone, down to the 25. Has to get 75 yards. They've done it before on one passing play. Olgle, 10 for 13, 2 for 0. Even if he loses, it was a good day for Olgle. Even if he loses. Winner here faces Baltimore or New England, which play either tomorrow or Thursday. Detroit, if they face Baltimore, that might be a loss. If they face New England, might be a loss. So even then, you might lose the Super Bowl. Detroit, we've seen some miracles by Detroit. Can they get one now? Can they use can Olgle, the comeback kid, do it again? Deep pass. Oh, incomplete. Almost picked off by 26. Try to get all the way down the field, and there's 10 seconds off. If Fuller had him beat. Fuller somewhat had him beat. If he lobbed that ball in the air, probably would have been a touchdown. 26 seconds remaining. Remember, has to throw it deep. Only down to 25. Has to get to the 35. Perfect. Olgle to pass. Ogle's going to take off. Gets the first down. Tries to get a block. Gets tackled and a timeout immediately called. 46 down to 46. 19 seconds remaining. Detroit looking to be the 2nd team in a row to get the amazing play, get the amazing touchdown pass. They almost had it on that first passing play, but it was also lucky not to get picked off, because the bad thing is it was bulleted You wanted to lob that ball because he had his man beat. It was one-on-one coverage. Fuller would have gotten the touchdown. 17 seconds. Sacked. Willie blows it. Accurate pass. Almost picked off again. 12 seconds, 2 timeouts. If he catches it, do you use one immediately? You have to. There's no way he can get down the field. No way he can get down the field. They have not gotten past this area since the play they got the touchdown on at the end of the first half. Over the pass. Pocket collapsing, sacked. 1 play remaining. Unless there's a penalty on the defense. 3rd and 19. All for nothing this play. 7 seconds. We've seen some miracles happen. Will this be another one? 7 seconds. Minnesota trying to stop them for the final time. Last play of the game. Olgle still in the pocket. Passes. And Fuller can't get there. Minnesota is heading to the Super Bowl. I'm surprised Olgle did not toss one up in the end zone there, but Minnesota sweeps in a thriller NFC Championship game. Detroit will once again go home. Ah, it's gotta suck. That hurts. That actually hurts for me, to be honest, because I'm a Detroit fan. But that kind of hurts. Yeah, it's just that one touchdown. That's that one touchdown that Minnesota got before Detroit, and then Cousins 19-0 and starts. He'll go on to face Baltimore or New England in the Super Bowl. However, they have a 4-point margin. If New England beats Baltimore, it depends on the margin of score. Minnesota will beat Detroit 21-17. They'll head on to the Super Bowl. They'll head on to Super Bowl 55. But however, next season should be good for Detroit. Hopefully.